With the Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 220 of our daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the blue Tally-Ho Orbit playing cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. We have the blue Tally-Ho Orbit playing cards in a standard glossy finish tuck box. On the front here, you can see that it's kind of like a mashup between Orbit and Tally-Ho. So it mostly looks like a Tally-Ho deck, but then it has some Orbit kind of little details worked in there. So you've got the like standard kind of like Tally-Ho kind of like design, and then it says We Are Orbit, Tally-Ho Orbit, playing cards, and 23 in a white and blue colorway. So the tuck box is mostly like a gloss white. And then on the side it says Premium Thin Crushed Air Cushion Finish. Other side says Tally-Ho Orbit. On the bottom, you got the Tally-Ho logo, the Orbit logo, which is Orbit 23, and then some corporate information. And these were made in 2022, designed by Daniel Schneider, made in the USA. So these are great quality to have. And then on the back, a sneak peek of that back design. For the seal, it's just a rounded square seal, and with a white border, and then there's like the blue colorway, a dark blue with that orbit circle. And on the top it says Orbit, and then 23. On the inner tuck flap, we just got more corporate information. And it says Blue Orbit back, print run 8,000, so there's only 8,000 of these. And on the inner tuck flap, it's just that gloss white. Take the card out of the box. The inside of the tuck box is just plain white. Nothing too crazy going on inside there, because it's just a normal standard deck. Now for the back design. Here we have the back design. It took the standard kind of like Tally-Ho kind of like pattern, but and then in the middle got the Orbit kind of circle logo there, right in the middle. And it is a mirrored back design, so you can flip the design over, and it's the same in both directions. And it has a standard white border going around. Now for the cards you get with the deck. Here we start with the first Joker, and this is just a standard Tally-Ho Joker, which is Joker Joker, Tally-Ho Tally-Ho. And you got the standard yellow and red character there with the whip. And then you got a similar one, which is Joker Joker. Then it says, instead of Tally-Ho, it says Orbit Orbit. And then instead of the yellow and red character, you got an astronaut, but he still has the whip and the little hat. He's just an astronaut. Then we get to the custom Ace of Spades, where it looks similar to the Tally-Ho Ace of Spades, which is Tally-Ho, and the big spade there with the ribbon, and it says playing cards. And at the bottom it says the Orbit deck, made in the USA. And then inside the spade you got a 23, and then some little rocket ships, little Orbit rocket ship there. And then for the rest of the deck, it's pretty much just a standard, like the bicycle pips, kind of like the standard Tally-Ho pips. And then the core cards are standard, but if you know Orbit playing cards, the faces of the core cards are custom, like the actual like people that made the deck or like helped or work for Orbit or friends of Orbit or something. I'm not entirely sure the faces, but something like that. So the core cards are it's like a standard core card, just with those custom faces. And the diamonds are just standard, like the whole deck is just like a standard deck, other than the faces on the core cards, which are the custom faces. But other than that, it's just a standard Tally-Ho deck. And then the last two cards you get in the deck, you got an extra Ace of Spades. No, extra 8 of Spades. And then you got a double backer of the back design. Now that we took a look at the cards, time to test the handling. And first we'll start with the springs. Oh yeah, there's definitely no issues with the springs. Nice and flexible, no stiffness to it. A nice flex, and they're nice and smooth. No issues with the springs. Now, onto the fans. Well, as you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see most of the pips and numbers. I found no real stickiness or clumpiness to the cards. They feel nice and smooth and spreadable. Now, onto the Pharaoh. A super smooth Pharaoh there. I didn't quite cut the package right, but they interlocked and wave flawlessly and super smooth. Now for a giant fan of the back design. Now for that reverse Pharaoh. Reverse Pharaoh wasn't as smooth. I had to push them together to get them to interlock and weave, but they did that pretty flawlessly as well. Now for a giant fan of the faces. Now for a few wiffle shuffles and bridge shuffles. That first one was super smooth, or felt super smooth. Oh yeah, no issues with the wiffle shuffles whatsoever. Super smooth and wiffly. Now for a few packet cuts. Oh yeah, there's definitely no issues with the packet cuts, and they're definitely not slippery at all. Like they don't want to slide out your hands at all, which is fantastic. Now for the one-handed cut, or Charlier cut. Now for the riffle, no, now for the dribble. Oh yeah, that's a super smooth and satisfying dribble. Yep, the dribbles are nice and smooth. No issues there. Now for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, I gotta say, this has been an excellent collab deck between Orbit and Tally-Ho. I really like that design, where it has like it looks like a Tally-Ho deck, but then when you look at it, you notice that Orbit circle there right in the middle, that big Orbit circle, which makes it look really nice, and it's symmetrical, so it's a mirror design. You can have it flipped either way, which is really nice. A nice simplistic design as well. And then for the phases, they're just standard like United States Playing Card Company like bicycle or Tally-Ho phases. So nothing too crazy about that. And then the core cards have the custom faces like the Orbits usually do. And then, so, yeah, not too much to say about the design because it's pretty simplistic overall, but still custom at the same time. And then the handling, well, it's a Tally-Ho deck made by the United States Playing Card Company, so there's definitely no issues found there. They handle fantastic because they have that air. What do they? Thin crust, yeah, air cushion finish. They have the air cushion finish to it. So they handle fantastic. So there's not really anything bad to say about the deck. Overall great design there in that blue and white colorway. And the handling is fantastic. No issues there. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 220 of a daily deck review. And this has been the Blue Tally-Ho Orbit collaboration deck. And I'm the Canadian Card Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.